What if I told you that Rome once lost an army so large, so completely, that the Republic nearly collapsed, and yet most people have never heard of it? This is the story of the Battle of Cannae, Rome's deadliest defeat. In 216 BCE, Rome was locked in a brutal struggle with Carthage during the Second Punic War. At the center of it all stood one man, Hannibal Barca. After crossing the Alps with his army, Hannibal had already humiliated Rome in earlier encounters. Desperate to end the threat, Rome assembled one of the largest forces it had ever fielded, around 80,000 soldiers, and marched to confront him near the small village of Cannae in southern Italy. Rome believed sheer numbers would guarantee victory. Hannibal, however, relied on strategy. His army was smaller and more diverse, made up of Africans, Spaniards, and Gauls, but it was highly disciplined. When the battle began, Hannibal deliberately weakened his center, allowing the Roman legions to push forward. To the Romans, it looked like success. It was a trap. As the Romans advanced, Hannibal's flanks, his strongest troops, closed in from both sides. Then his cavalry struck from behind. In a maneuver still studied in military academies today, Hannibal completely surrounded the Roman army. The Romans were packed so tightly they could barely move, let alone fight effectively. What followed was catastrophic. By the end of the day, an estimated 50,000 to 70,000 Romans were dead, including senators, officers, and seasoned veterans. Never before, and rarely since, had Rome suffered such a single-day loss. Entire families lost generations of men. The road to Rome itself lay open. Yet Hannibal did not march on the city. Rome, battered but unbroken, refused to surrender. Instead, it changed its strategy, avoiding direct confrontation and slowly wearing Hannibal down. Years later, Rome would win the war, but the memory of Cannae haunted Roman leaders for centuries. Cannae matters because it reveals a powerful lesson. Numbers alone do not guarantee victory. Discipline, planning, and adaptability can change the course of history. Rome survived Cannae not because it was invincible, but because it learned from its greatest failure. If this story surprised you, like, share, and comment. Should Hannibal have marched on Rome after Cannae? And would history have changed forever? This video is for educational purposes only.